Hello everyone, welcome once again to another Power BI related tutorial by Team Slidescope. In this part, you are seeing Airbnb Italian listings overview, that is dashboard 1 of 5, where we are doing exploratory analysis on listings. I will explain you what is this data set, and we are just doing it for educational purpose. You can get the data set from this Kaggle URL. I will leave the link in description. So in this data set, we are trying to answer these questions. So this particular series will have 5 dashboards, which you can see, and we will answer these different questions. I think we have around 22 questions. And while solving these questions, we will learn how to create measures if necessary, or how to do it with the help of drag and drop. So everything that you see here along with these filters like property type, neighborhood, city name, let's say we want to see for Milan only. So you can see all the interactive charts that we have. Meaning of this particular chart, which is ribbon chart. So we are answering listing count by season and city. What is meaning of these arrows that you are seeing here? And what is this data showing? So everything I will explain in detail. How to show currency automatically. So let's get started with this chapter, which is for beginners. So the data set that we are using in this project is this Italian Airbnb data set that was available in this particular Kaggle, where a user has provided a snapshot of listings across major Italian cities like Florence, Milan, Naples, etc. And we will use this data set where you can see it has around 26 columns, which I'll explain. And we are using this particular file, the CSV file. So we will download the CSV file and then load it in our favorite BI tool and start analyzing the data. So we have opened Power BI desktop, and for educational purpose we will analyze the data and we will try to answer these questions. Like we will create 5 dashboards, and this is part 1 where we are doing listing overview, where we will try to answer these 4 questions. So to do that, we will get it started and connect the CSV file that we downloaded from this Kaggle URL. You can see the data is now loaded. It has listing ID, last year reviews, host since, host is superhost or a normal host, number of listings by this host, neighborhood, total review, rating score, accuracy score, cleanliness score, check-in score, communication score, location score, etc. is given. You can see bathrooms type, bathroom number, even the coordinates are given. So we'll just load this data. Now you can see the data is loaded, and we will keep it as Airbnb. Next thing, we will insert a text box which will keep our heading. So because we have to prepare 5 dashboards, the first heading is listing overview. We will just mention it here, and we will keep the font size around 32, make it bold. So this is our dashboard heading. Here our main focus is not too much on design, but we will give a shadow. If needed, we can give a visual border as well. We are just giving the shadow. So this is our dashboard here. It is the heading of the dashboard. Next, we will create a simple sidebar here, which we mostly do in most of our tutorials. In this sidebar, we will keep our filters, whatever filters are needed, the categorical values that are like city, location, etc. And here we can select this one and select a style. Some color is given. I will select this color, which goes with this particular brand. And here we have border, which I will simply disable. So from Canva, I have just downloaded a listing, hotel listing icon. It's a white transparent image that you can see here. and that we can put here just to represent that we are dealing with total listings. So now it is ready. Next we will start with our question, and first question is total listing. What is the total number of listing available across all cities? Obviously some questions are given here, so we can prepare some KPIs. KPIs can be accuracy score, it can be bathroom number, etc. Like, because it's an overview, so if we are just first let's answer the question total listings. So we will just create a card visual here, and in this card visual we will create our first KPI, and that first KPI is going to be total number of listings. For that we will just drag listing ID, and you can see it will sum that, which we don't have to do. We have to actually do count listing. And for call out value we can select any color, maybe like this. We can disable the font size to around 35. Here we have the category label available, so let me decide whether I want to keep this font or not. So I'm just marking the category label with this color. We can make it bold, and it shows count of listing IDs, so we can simply write count of listings here, and we are keeping this color for our numbers. So let me do one more thing here. Okay, here we can do one more thing. We can go to call out, we can go to general tab, effects, enable shadow. So this will show count of listings. Now we will create another KPI, and obviously that may be answered in other parts also, but when you are creating something, whatever key numbers you have, for example accuracy score and ratings, these are very important, right? So you can see total number of reviews that they have got. So you can see they have got around 17 million reviews. So we can rename for this visual, and this is just for the simple short data that was collected by that particular user who collected it on Kaggle. So here, based on this data, next we will create another KPI, and that KPI will have another important matrix, and that will be location score. So what is the average location score? So instead of sum we will keep average, and here we can write it in short like average location score. Okay, now we have the answer. Next we have value for money score. We will select its average as well, although this question will come in later as well. So this is average value for money score, enter. So you can see on an average ratings are really good. Finally we also have information of price. So what is the average price is also very important. Really sum of price is not we are analyzing. So this is average price, and obviously because data is from Italy, we are considering these prices are in euro. So we will select the table view. In table view we can select the price column, and then we can select the icon. So you can see euro icon here. So it will mark it as a monetary value and show this kind of price here. So this is basically average price per listing. So these are some KPIs. I will select this also and select the same color so that everything looks in a theme. Now question number 1 says total listings and also what is total number of listings available across all cities. So we don't have to answer this as a KPI, but we actually have to answer it as a chart. So to find that, we can simply select a stack column chart, and to show listings across all cities we can select like this. We can select city on x-axis, and on y axis we can drag listing ID and do count listing. So this will show us count of listings ID by cities and basically answering the question total number of listings available across each city. So listings available across all cities, and we can go to general tab title because this was asked as a question. So we can just mention that question here, like in this project they have asked these 20-25 questions which we are going to solve one by one. So this is going to be a multi-part series, so just stick with us. Now here listing available across each cities. Here we will select the heading as this, align it to center, and for our visual we have the columns. We can select the primary theme color that we are going with. Although this is all optional, but we can do that. I will just do one more thing. I will try to make the sidebar a little more wider so that we can put filters easily and keep little bit of gap here. Next, it is important for these charts also that what we are creating here, that we enable shadow. Also not important, sorry if I said important, but we can do that. And for title we can make them both so that they are properly visible. So this is listings available across all cities, and this is how you can show the answer. One more way to show the answer is through map. So we can click on this data and select this map, which is a bubble map, and here you can see it will automatically pick Italy and it will automatically show the listing available across all cities like this. We can go to map setting. Instead of road we can select light. This is better, and this way we can answer the question. If the bubbles are not visible now, because these bubbles are there, we can select the color and we can select a little bit darker version of this color. Okay, so now I will keep this as my answer. Let's move ahead and try to answer question number 2, that is listings by property type. How many listings exist for each property type that we have? So to answer the second question, we'll copy its heading, or maybe later, and we will simply duplicate this, and here the categorical field is property type. We have different kind of properties in this data set. So instead of location we will just add property type, but before that we have to change the chart as well. So we'll keep a stack column chart, select property type, and you can see count of listing ID. So this is showing listing available across city as a heading, which we have to change now, and this will be listing by property type. If you go here you will be able to change the heading from here, listing by property type, which answers second question. Entire home has the like property types that are labeled as entire home. These are most in the data set. Okay, then we will do one more thing. Select this chart because we have space available. We'll go to format your visual setting, from where we will enable the data label. So now you can see it is showing the answer, and that it has around 73,000 such property types. So obviously when we are comparing them, it is showing as 0k, but it is actually 493 listings. So in this chart itself, in the visual setting in y-axis, we can just select the logarithmic scale. So obviously it will show the same numbers, but at least now we can compare them. Obviously their sizes are not proportional, but at least good for reading. We can invert range, so just another way of representing the data. But this is mostly done when we have negative values. For positive values we can keep like this. One more thing, some numbers are outside, some numbers are inside the columns. So we can go to data labels and position auto. We can say inside end. So it will now start showing at inside end for all the columns. Third question is listing by neighborhood. Which neighborhood have the highest number of listings? So for that, let's see the neighborhood data. You can see we have so many neighborhoods. So if you have to show or answer this question, what I will try is a simple matrix chart here. First I will see, then I will create that, and I will use this much space because we have so many listings. So I will distribute the space. In rows, we will select the neighborhood type, and in values, we will select count of listings. One more thing we can do, because we have to do this count of listings again and again. So we will go to modeling tab, create a new table, and this is something that we mostly do to separate the measures from our main table. So we'll create the measures table, create a new measure and call it listings count, and we'll use the function called distinct count of whatever column. So whatever number of distinct values this listing ID has, we'll be able to find that. So now after adding neighborhood, and we have created this listing count with the help of distinct count function, it returns total number of distinct IDs. See, this is count of listing. What if I, instead of count distinct, I just select count? So you can see the number. That means each listing ID on an average has around 3. I'm just saying not exactly 3, but these are the number of listings that we actually have. This distinct count will give us this number. So now we can select this, and in this matrix chart as a count we can, as a value we can add this. So now you can see the number. Next, here there is a very important thing that is not needed in this question, but just as a value addition. We can go to visual setting, and in visual setting we have cell element. In cell element we have icons. So we can enable or disable these icons. Okay, these icons, like it is green when that listing count is very high, it is showing green. When this listing count is below a certain number, it is showing orange, and when it is less, it is showing, you can see, red. You can go to FX and see the logic. It depends upon percent. So if value is between 0 to 33%, whatever that particular number is, so our total number is 92,000. 33, if that number is below 33% of this value, it will be red. Below 33, between 33 to 67%, it will be like this, and 67% to 100. You can, instead of percent, you can mark it as a number and say if it is between 0 to 100, this color. You can select different colors. You can select different patterns also. You can see what different patterns are here. Okay, so you can select on the basis of your requirement. For example, if I select this set, so it has 4 values: 0 to 20%, 20 to 40, 40 to 60, and so on. So you can see based on number of values you can select. It has actually 5, these have 4, and these have 3. So whatever is your preferred answer, you can select accordingly. So we are just going with this just for now. And here obviously one more thing is there. In cell elements we can also enable data bars. Okay. These data bars have a particular color for positive value. Let's say for positive value we are selecting this color. I'm just selecting that so that it is visible properly. Here also you can go to general effects and enable shadow so that we have the answer, and as a title we can copy the question listings by neighborhood, which we are answering with the matrix chart, and we can go to general and title and mention it here and use the same color property like this, make it bold, align it to center. Another question is listings by city seasonal. What is the seasonal distribution of listings across different cities? So here they are asking two questions. One category is season, one category is city. So I'll try one chart and see if it can answer properly. So first of all, we see how many values are there in season. So if you go to season, you will see that season is early autumn, spring, summer, winter, where early is written. So I will simply select a ribbon chart here, and in ribbon chart, first of all, I'll copy the same styling format printer, and because we have to answer only these four questions, I will use the width like this, and here in ribbon chart in x-axis I will keep the season as x-axis. Second is city. So in every city we have to answer. So I'll keep the city name on legend. So we have 5 cities and 4 seasons. And then the measures we created like this. So now this is showing us listing count by season and city. You can see the heading is automatically coming. If you want to show these numbers, you can also enable data labels here and it will show the answer. So this shows listing count by season and city. These colors that are here, you can go to columns and we have series. Let's say for Firenze, you want to apply any other color, you can select. Let's say I just want to select this color, or what is the most dominant color is of Roma. So I will select Roma, and for this I will select this color, and then obviously we cannot use all the colors like this. But let's say second one is in all the cases is Milano. So we can select Milano and select a lighter shade of this color. So we can select this color and then go to more colors and little bit of lighter shade of this color. Okay, so that we are just doing it so that we are keeping everything in theme. And this color of Firenze, we can select something like light. So now this is okay. This has answered our 4 questions in the first part, and you can tally. Next, we have kept this area for sidebar. So for sidebar, we will now add some filters. So the categorical columns that are mentioned in this part are city, property type, neighborhood, season. So we will add slicer here. So this slicer can be used for creating filters. So I will just add slicer like this. Here I will select first thing, that is city. So if you want to see for different cities, you can go to format, slicer setting, you can select a drop down list. So we have more than 300 such videos that we are discussing right now. You can learn data analytics at slidescope.com if you want to learn from scratch, whether it's Power BI, Tableau, Python, machine learning, AI, anything that you want to learn, you can connect with us. Let's get back to our data set. So this is city. Here what we can do is we can go to general tab and effects and disable the background. Then we can go to slicer header and use light colors for fonts and our headers. So now you can see it is showing like that. Okay, so this one is okay. So now what we can do, we can simply copy this filter, put it here. Instead of city, we can select something like neighborhood, which we said that whatever columns we have kept. Let's create another copy, and here we will select property type, another copy, and finally we will select the season. Obviously many filters can come here, like rating. You have to filter listings by rating, you have to filter listings by average location score, so you can do that. So but here I just want to try one more thing. In values also we can select a light color or a bright color, and we can disable the background. So or we'll choose the same color as background. So here you can see now it will be visible. So you can do like this as well. And now we can copy this format painter and apply on all the charts, all the slices. Just a minute, by mistake we will copy this and apply here. Yeah, so now it is done, and now we have the proper filters, we have the listing, we have dashboard 1 of 5. So another important filter will be price also when someone is trying to book a listing. So what we can do in slicer setting, here we can show between because it's a number. Now you can see between this number and that, and now we can go to values and select again the bright color, and now you can actually filter the listings on the basis of pricing in euro, and we can increase the pricing font. This much is okay. So this is how you can actually create these filters. Here you can see we have slider color for slider also. We'll select this slider color. Okay. Now I'll keep it like this in starting so that we can see the effect of filter. This is how you can answer questions. In second part we will solve other questions. Thanks for watching the part 1. If you have any questions or suggestions for part 1, you can select that. You can comment in our video. Please like this video. Please subscribe to our channel so that we can bring more interesting content for you. Whether you are a student or a working professional, everything that we discuss here will be a topic of interest for you if you are into data analytics. Thanks for watching once again. Have a nice day. Keep creating dashboards. Keep asking questions.